Well, I'm building the next OpenClaw, and this is not going to be easy. But what we're going to do here is solving the hard part of building AI agents and getting them deployed to production, which is what we are building here, and it's called Reel. So we just started building this week, and this will be a very big project, and the project that we'll be focusing on primarily as our main quest, and all of the things that we built so far are all basically side quests. So recently, OpenClaw had a lot of issues with like the stability and stuff. Whenever you just upgrade, something will just break and then you have to spend so much time debugging it. I had the same issue as well. I just got sick of it and I just decided to let it die. I didn't even like fix it the last time it died. It's just so unstable now, and people are hopping onto the Hermes agent as well, and we are seeing a lot of these agents popping up here and there as well. But what Reel is trying to solve here is actually a layer on top of it. So we are making like a gateway, a proxy, or sort of like a firewall sitting in front of it, and giving the reliability that it needs to deploy to production. And we'll support a lot of agents as well, like Claude Code, Codex, and many others, like even Pi as well. So this will work out of the box with many different agents. What we are building here is essentially the entire car itself. If you look at Claude, Codex, all of it is just car engines, and we're basically building an entire car here to actually make it work on the road. You can actually drive it on the road. So far, the engines are all built, but nobody's building the entire car yet. There's a lot of tools out there, and everything is like just very scattered and fragmented. It's just all over the place. Just nobody has done this so far, where someone has pieced all of the great tools into one app. That's exactly what we're going to do here, because there's just so many great open source tools. The technology of everything is literally already built. Like all we are doing here is combining everything into one app, package it in one box, make it as easy as possible for anyone to use. You don't need technical knowledge to set it up. You don't need technical knowledge to deploy it. All you have to do is just use it, and you're not locked into any vendor as well. That's the best part of it, is you can be self-hosted as well. What we're essentially doing is just the orchestration layer of it, but we're orchestrating at a higher level as compared to what agents are orchestrating at their level. In fact, I was already building OpenClaw before OpenClaw was built. I started this project way longer ago. I think this was like started in maybe August or September when I came back from UK last year. I started on this project because I thought this was so cool that nobody has done this yet, and that this was before Codex Claude had their app as well. So this interface wasn't that common that time. It was still all CLIs, and when I was building the whole point of the original version was to make it as easy as possible, have a nice interface for interacting with local models, because there's so much lock-in with like the cloud providers so far, and we just keep getting rock pulled with like Anthropic. Even OpenAI has some issues with like the funding as well. The money isn't going well. It's just bound to keep repeating itself. So I thought it would be useful to move towards an era of local AI agents, and that's the hard part of local back then. Because back then, local AI was actually good enough, but we don't have models like Gemma today, which is very good at local inference and very performance as well. So the performance part wasn't easy to tackle back then, but we now have this bunch of open source models that we can orchestrate into one nice app and use local models by default, rather than having to leverage a $200 subscription just to use AI agents every month. So this was the whole point initially, to make local AI agents easy to set up, easy to download the models, set up everything, no technical knowledge required. That was the whole point. And I even combined it to ChatGPT. If you see here, back then, there wasn't any way for you to, as a developer, to connect your Codex app, into the Codex API, because right now they have an OAuth application way where you can actually directly connect the Codex app into any app that you want and use the usage there. Even like Claude, I think they have that option now, but it wasn't possible before. So that will use up the subscription usage on behalf of the user, but that wasn't possible before. And I used like a very hacky way to make this work with ChatGPT. Essentially, they just log in through the browser and we'll use their session token and make that work inside here. Essentially, we're just interfacing whatever they are doing with ChatGPT inside here, and it will have context of like their memories and everything. It's all built in because it's using their session token. And then I decided that it might be so cool that what if we can just plug all these into a Telegram bot? That was like the whole reason why I started on this. And see here, this is a Telegram bot that's literally running on your desktop. That was so cool though. The whole time in the past, all Telegram bots are like run in the cloud. So I thought this was cool because you already have the agent interface. I can talk to my agent from anywhere while the desktop app is running. I can interface with it anytime that I want. This bot is literally living on my computer. What better is there? Because it has context to everything that I have on my computer. That was so cool, man. And the way to set that up was literally just one bot. So just enable it from the settings and you can just put in your token and you can just start the server, and this will be literally your bot, your own bot running on your desktop. That was how cool I thought this was. And then OpenClaw came around and they just did the same exact thing as well, but they had like so much more integrations everywhere. At the same time, they have like so much more bloat as well. So this was a very cool project that I made, and I referenced a bunch of different open source repos as well to make this work. And this is fully built in Rust as well. The whole point of it is to make it as performative as possible and smooth running on the desktop, because when we run local inference using the Gemma models, all of the local AI models, it uses a lot of resources, which is why this was important to be as minimal, as lean as possible, use up as least RAM as possible to not affect the performance of the inference. And I had something like this as well. This was so new. I don't think anyone is still doing this yet, but I thought it was useful that we can do a contextual layer to it, that it will always see your screen and know what's going on with your computer. Basically, if I were to be drafting an email, they can automatically suggest. You don't even need to prompt it anymore. It will just suggest whatever from your past history, look at your past emails, do everything automatically for you, suggest the draft that you want, and do things for you. This was like the whole point of it, but I just didn't have time to build all this shit. And then OpenClaw came about. So I even built like the entire website as well, like the sessions and stuff, changing emails and all. The entire thing was built. And this was the local AI marketplace as well. You can download everything from the marketplace. We even have spaces as well. We have local embeddings built in by default as well. You can embed whatever files you want. And I feel like a lot of the things has already changed in this paradigm where we're not exactly like embedding spaces and stuff anymore. It's more of exploring whatever you have integrations of different apps like Google Drive and whatever you have on your desktop. We don't even need to embed it anymore. It's more like a non-rec based exploration, but more of a file search, direct search exploration now, where you actually directly just search for the files that you need rather than just embedding it. And I've been trying to port this over for a while, because the original app is actually literally just one desktop app. All of the function and everything is just built into one Tory desktop app, which I thought the birth of OpenClaw was pretty coincidental, because it made me realize that what if we could just do the same thing as OpenClaw, but make it even better? Rather than having all packaged into one desktop app, we could split it into multiple concerns with a core layer as a Rust binary that handles all of the logic, and a gateway layer that handles the security side of it, that can sit in front of any of the other AI agents as well. And we have the desktop layer, which is the user interface layer that can be the desktop app. That can be this one as well, like the floating always on context aware observations, proactive suggestions, floating toolbar, and Telegram bots, WhatsApp bots. There's so many layers that we can abstract out and make this even better. So I've been trying to port this over to a new project, and this is where we're going to start building it for real now. So this is where I've got so far, but I think that the UI is really, I don't know, man. But this is what the original UI was, and I really love it, but I don't know why it can't just port. The source code is all there. I don't know why it can't port exact one-to-one correctly. But this desktop app will be now as one desktop app and it's separate. And you can have like it self-hosted with like the core binary hosted on your Pi. You can have one on the cloud for your company. The Pi one can be personal, or you can even run it on your desktop as well. And this desktop app will allow you to connect to multiple nodes as well. And that's basically it. So what we will be building isn't exactly easy and straightforward. There is a lot of pieces to it, and this is a very competitive market as well. And there's just so many parts that's missing, like the security side of it. Everyone is getting leaked with their API keys. There's prompt injections. There's so many layers to handle all these things. And we can provide infrastructure to counter and solve all these problems by having it split out into multiple layers. This is how we're going to solve the problem. And we're going to open source it as well. Because honestly, there's no reason to not open source things now, because there's just no moat anymore. The moat is really like on the brand itself. So we really want to build a reputable brand of whatever we're building here and make sure that this is the best ever agent orchestrator, or like well, it's not exactly a agent orchestrator or a harness. It's more like an end-to-end infrastructure for AI agents that actually handles all the missing pieces that's required to ship AI agents into production that's really missing here today. And that's the hard part that we're solving here. And in fact, we just got accepted to the Block 71 Spring Residency to incubate whatever we're building here. So this is pretty exciting. You can bring on top any agent that you want, and we'll build an infrastructure for them to be production ready. This is literally not just the next OpenClaw, but way beyond that. And it will support any agent anyone will build in the future as well. So this is literally the missing piece that we really need today. So we will be building this for real as well. And we will definitely be going into some VC talks as well when the time comes. Once we actually build this into something that's usable, and we're going to do some pilot testing as well. Once that's all done, we will determine when to open source it as well. And there's just so many parts and pieces to this. Even though it sounds simple, but there's just so many parts, man. Like the way we have compiled all of the things that we want to build for this, I think it's more of an engine that allows you to plug in anything that you really need. There's so much of these useful tools out there, like the Vector Rack one, the Graphify, and there's a lot of security walls, firewalls as well that's already built out there. And there's a lot of local models in the web browsers. There's all these technologies are already built, but nobody has so far put everything together into one package. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So if you're excited as I am to build this and see what's going to come out of it, do subscribe and follow the journey. This is just the first episode here.